Hello and welcome to Paper Mache Patch. I am Suzette and today I am going to show you how to make this fabulous journal page. Gather your supplies and let's get started. Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm doing a journal page for you. I am going to be using these plaid colors, apple barrel, cloudless, folk art, patina, and some melted chocolate also by apple barrel. They're great acrylic paints to use. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper that I'm not using and put it under here so I don't mess up my page under there. Alright, great. I have already put a coat of gesso on this page, so you don't have to watch me do that. And to begin with, I'm just gonna squirt some paint directly on my page. We can add more as we go along. And I'm gonna be using a brayer for this project as opposed to a paintbrush to just spread it all over the background. I can't get my paper off right now, so let's just go ahead and add some of that blue. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll this out. I have a squeaky brayer. And look how easily you can get that background. Okay, great. I'm just gonna rub it on this piece of scrap paper I have here just to clean it off. And I'm gonna dry this quickly. And then I'm gonna bring in a stencil. I have this stencil from Stencil Girl products. I love it because it has so many different shapes and it makes a great art journal background. And I'm going to use the darker paint to just quickly go over with a brayer because it didn't really show much in my background. I might actually add some white to that also. I don't have white paint handy, but I have gesso, so that will do. And just gonna go ahead with my brayer and just roll it out right here on my craft mat. These craft mats are great for that. And just go ahead and go over the stencil. I'm not going for a perfect stencil. I'm just applying color to my background. Just trying to get as much texture as possible in that background. I am working in a journal though, so I don't want to add too much lumpy embellishments. So I'm trying to do most of it with paint. And there we go. It adds a nice texture there. It's a good idea to have water handy so you can dump that right in the water. Unfortunately, I don't. So I'm just going to give it a quick wipe with a wet wipe. Alright, great. I'm going to dry this. As you can see, the colors are coming out nicely. Let me turn down that light in a bit, maybe you can see it better. A lot of the time when I'm working in my art journal, I really don't know where I'm going. I just decide as I go along. So if I drift off when I'm talking, it's because I'm thinking about what to do next. Alright, I think we're good there. Now I am going to, let's see, what are we going to do next? We can add some music to the background with this beautiful stencil here. And my ink. This is a pigment ink, so it's waterproof. And this is one of those Tim Holtz applicators, but you don't need this. You can use a makeup sponge. As usual, I'm not really going for a perfect print. I just want it on my page, see? Gives it great dimension. I might add a little bit right up here also. And I think that's good for that particular stencil. I'm going to wipe that off also. Put that out the way, and then it does dry quickly, but just to make sure it's dry, it's good to have your dryer handy. If you don't have a heat gun, a hair dryer can work as well. You don't really need a heat gun to dry stuff. That's more for embossing and stuff like that. This is actually sequin waste. They call it punchinella also. I'm going to use it just to add some brown dots. It was curled up in a drawer, so it's a little problematic to work with, but we shall do what we can with it. I'll have to put it under some books to straighten it out. Let me just get rid of some of this right here before we start making too big of a mess. Okay, great. So it's going to be a bit problematic, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to be working with the melted chocolate from Apple Barrel. These are flat acrylics. These are craft acrylics, but they don't lack any pigment. They're actually very good. I love them for art journaling because they have a matte finish. I splashed some there, but I really don't mind. I'm going to use a makeup sponge for this. Just gently dab. I'm not adding it everywhere. Of course, the lighter you press is the better the result. I'm not really being careful. See, I have less paint now and I'm just pressing lightly, and you'll see how much nicer the circles are formed compared to here where I had a lot of paint and I was pressing very hard. So I like how this is looking. So I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna drop that in some water. And as I did before, I'm just gonna wipe this off, and I think this goes under some books tonight. So once again, I'm gonna dry this. And then I really have to think about what am I gonna do next. Alright, I think I'm gonna cut out some little houses and add to this. This is my bag of jelly print papers, backgrounds, that I make from time to time. I have quite a variety. Alright, let's figure out what we're doing here. I'm thinking of adding a couple houses to the background. So I'm just gonna randomly cut them out. I am not drawing them or anything. I just like how that looks here, so let's cut that out. And we can make a house with this little one right here. As I said, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just seeing how the colors work with this. I might use it, I might not use it, I'm not sure yet. This one I already have some stuff stamped, so I'm going to avoid those areas. I think this one actually would be quite nice. Right there. Let's just clean up that edge. As you can see, I've made a mess down there with that brown paint I never wiped up. Okay, there we go. So I think that will look great there. And this also would be nice. I like the pink. The pink is very nice. I think I'm going to do a very tall house. And actually add that here somewhere. And I can add that house here. I'm not sure I want that one anymore. I like that bright pink. So I might use it to add some little stuff around. I'm just going to wipe up this paint before I make a bigger mess. And I already have made. Okay, great. So I think we've found a few houses. This is cute also. Let me just see how that would work. So that looks like a door. So if we just clean up the edge. This is how it is for me in art journaling. I really don't know what I'm doing when I start. I like that, so I'm trying not to cover it up. But that's easier said than done. Alright, I think I'm actually going to use those two. I have an idea. So let me move this out of the way and get my matte medium and stick those two down. What I am gonna probably do here, because I want to keep this and I also want to keep this right here, I think I'm gonna put them on a little hill. So my hill is gonna go like that. And I'm gonna stick them down there. So I'm gonna stick them down first and then I will wonder about what I'm gonna do for my hill. When you've stuck them down, you can go over the top with the matte medium. Find an area lifting, just add more. It will dry fast depending on your temperature. It's very hot today, although it is very humid, but the fans are on, so. Okay, great. So we're gonna let that dry. And when I come back, we will work out what we're doing next. This is now dry, and I'm going to go ahead and add that little hill. I'm gonna use this green here. It's called Arbor Green. It's also by Apple Barrel Acrylics. I'm going to use two different brushes. Let me start with a fine one. And I'm going to just do that little line that we had right here. You just go around those houses first. I do believe it ran something like that. Then there, and then there. So I'm just going around the houses with the fine brush first, and then I will switch to a bigger one. To fill in the rest. Okay, there we go. And then we can just go ahead and grab our bigger brush and fill in. This brush is very scratchy, I'm not liking it. Just fill in your hillside. It's a bit translucent, which is great because you can still see what's underneath. I'm just not liking the scratchy brush, but I will soften that with my paper towel. Just fix right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and dab it like that, and that will take away the lines. And it leaves all of this still showing, which is great. Alright, so we want that to dry. Of course, you didn't have to use green. I mean, it's a whimsical art journal page. Your grass could have been whatever color you wanted it to be. For me, art journaling is escape from all the rules and that society dictates to us. When I'm in my art journal, I can do what I want. I can have purple skies and pink grass and heart-shaped trees. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we'll dry this, and then when we come back, we will use our Posca markers or any other paint markers you might add to have some details to the house and to the garden and to the sky. Okay, everything is dry now, and I am just going to use my colored pencils to just add some final details. I'll also use my charcoal pencil and possibly a rubber stamp and some ink and some washi tape. So I'm going to begin by just outlining my house. And then I'm going to softly blend the edges with your finger. If you don't want to get your finger messy, use a dry paintbrush. And then I'm going to get my colored pencil and just go ahead and go over these windows and any other areas that you want to just add a little bit more color to. Colored pencils are great for art journaling. These are Prismacolor, but any colored pencil, Crayola, Sargent's Art, whatever brand you have, it will work just fine. These finishing touches, they do make a world of a difference to the piece. You can, of course, go back over it with your Prismacolor if you so wanted to. This is my white Uniball pen. I'm just going to use it to go around these. Add little doodles. Highlights. And my black pen, I'll just go over the windows. As you can see, the piece is starting to come together now. You can also use an eraser, like if you want to. As you can see, it brings back the charcoal quite nicely there. You will also take off colored pencil, but to a lesser extent. But if you wanted to clean up any edges that have gotten too smudged, you could definitely use that charcoal for that. I mean that eraser, sorry. I'm not sure what to do here. I was thinking words before, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead. When you think of home, think of love, think of happiness, comfort. Anything you want can be added in that area down there. And, you know, I can also go ahead and do some doodles. It really is up to you. You can do loose doodles all the way around like that if you like. That's another nice feature in a journal page. I have washi tape here. I'm kind of liking this striped one. If I could find the edge. I like how that goes there actually. I might bring it all the way across. See, the thing with art journal is you never really know until you try. I definitely like that there. And I'm gonna get a black pen, marker rather, and just go back over these lines. Any line that you think needs cleaning up, just a regular Sharpie is fine, or you can use your Posca again. But I find that felt tip markers are much easier to control if you want that cleaner finish. I also feel like I want to add something right there. So I'm going to get a sticker for there in a minute. And to show you how I use this stamp, I just apply ink, not all over it, because I just want random bits of text. Alright, here I have my Tim Holtz Ideology Big Chat. Just has like lots of words in it. And I immediately like the word dream. So I have dreams right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my house right here. Press that down. I'm going to grab my charcoal again and go back around some of these areas. Oops, that wasn't dry properly. I'm going to just probably wipe that with a wet wipe. Always good to have a wet wipe handy when you're art journaling. See if I can just clean that up a little bit. There we go. Not too smudgy now, just a little. I'm feeling like this door needs something else. So if I can get my pen flowing properly. Doesn't want to work properly today. So I think I'm just gonna find my Posca marker. Okay, I found my Posca marker and I think I'm just gonna add some dots. So you can just use your white marker to do any more little doodles that you might want. Or to fix any that you already have. And you just keep going until you're happy with how it looks. Sometimes though you just have to put down the pen because you actually make a bigger mess. And we can just go ahead and add some highlights in those windows if you want. Not really necessary. And there you have it. I think I'm gonna stop there before I make a mess of things. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm going to do on this page. I do hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future tutorials. And also you can follow me at SuzetteHussey.com. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.